We're just over 50 days from the presidential election, and former President Trump says he's not interested in another debate.
It comes as some of Trump's comments about immigrants during this week's debate is causing chaos in Ohio. Those comments about dogs and cats that are being eaten. Anyway, Good Day's Robert Moses joins us with the very latest this morning. Robert, what's going on?
Dan and Tashani, Vice President Kamala Harris will be rallying in Pennsylvania tonight. Former President Donald Trump will do the same out in Las Vegas. She wants to debate him again. He says, no thanks.
Because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no third debate.
Calling himself the victor in his debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, although even some of his allies disagree, former President Donald Trump declared that debate would be his last. The former president campaigned in Arizona, a state he hopes to flip. Vice President Harris rallied in North Carolina, a state she wants to flip.
I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
The vice president's campaign announced that it raised $47 million in the 24 hours after Tuesday's debate, a get-together that will be remembered for former President Trump's claim that immigrants in the small Ohio town of Springfield have been eating pets.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Supporters of the vice president turned that allegation into a chant at a rally in Michigan that her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, headlined.
Michigan, we love you.
The claim that immigrants are eating pets, unfounded, Springfield officials say, is no laughing matter there. Yesterday, a bomb threat forced the closure of City Hall. Springfield has seen an influx of immigrants from Haiti. The former president's validation of the rumor about pets has thrust the city into the national spotlight.
Being in a leadership role right now is like a game of whack-a-mole, where we jump to extinguish one myth at a time.
Haitian Americans in Nassau County yesterday called those myths racist.
It's despicable and dangerous.
And the former president made news on a couple of other fronts. He unveiled a plan to do away with taxes on overtime. This, he says, to incentivize working more. And he lost an appeal of Judge Juan Merchan's gag order in that hush money case here in New York. The state's top court ruled the gag order will stay in place, meaning the former president cannot speak about court staff, prosecutors, or their relatives as he campaigns. Tashani and Dan, back to you.
We'll see if it makes a difference on the campaign trail here the next few weeks. Robert, thank you very much.